it. This is a ratings video. 120 something bad ratings. It was interesting. I learned a few things about this game. There's over 300 variable aspects when you look at the ratings, the tendencies, the animations, the emotion badges, and the signature skills. There's so many things you can change per player in different ranges of change that this is a simulation whether it wants to be or not. No matter what it does with the gameplay, there's so many things you can change to where you can tune the simulation to make it a better representation. You can, I would say, give more authenticity to the math. Rough game. I'm using Chunt, CHUNTO Forest rosters. I tried to create wingspans that were to scale for each player, and my file was erased during the server purge. I say customer purge. It's one of the two main problems with this game. Why I would say, if you have a choice, get the previous gen version because it has defensive settings and this doesn't have this idiocy where you have to save online. And I'm not just talking my player, which would make some sense. I'm talking everything is saved online. And look at that. Like, you can't ride Beverly a little bit. It just kind of shoos me a little out the way. And the defensive stance is terrible. But all in all, I'd say besides that stuff, NBA 2K14 was an improvement. It's just the next-gen version is missing something incredibly key, being the defensive settings. But to the ratings, understanding how much of a simulation this is, it makes the ratings more important. If you're putting bad information into the simulation, then really you just have the WNBA with players that look like NBA players. Wow, look at them overcommit there. There was a time when they didn't help out. Now the help defense and the footwork behind it, it's the wrong person helping. They're helping when they don't need to help, and he just overran it. But as I was saying, the data that you put into the simulation is pretty much everything. And this data is lacking. And I judge what's wrong with the ratings. I did 2 other ratings videos. I'm more tongue-in-cheek because I've come to the conclusion that now that we can share rosters, it's really up to us to fix it. The developers are really out of touch. But I look at the ratings and I look at theory. What are they using to come up with the ratings? How, as a flat number, how does it work out? Then I look at scale. How does it compare to other ratings? And then even if you get scale and theory right, how does it translate into the game? Those are 3 important ways, or 3 important judgment criteria, I guess you could call it, and how I look at the ratings. I might annotate this video. I feel like I have more to say. But I'm going to go through as I list them and explain why this game does not feed its simulation, regardless if you're playing on simulation or how you play. It doesn't feed the data to represent the players. This is the WNBA you're looking at with players that look like NBA. So, NBA players.
Sensor hogs, 52 strength, 47 NBA speed, Larry Sanders, 55 strength. Brandon Knight, 97 fitness.
If you can't read it, I'll provide a link, so follow along. I thought I already did this, but anyhow, I'm just going to go through and kind of explain. Spencer Hawes, 52 strength, probably goes without saying. Compare that in scale to other ratings. Cody Zeller has a 95-inch. He has a 95 rating for his vert because he had a really high vertical in the combine. But he also was very fast in the combine. So why does he have a low speed score? You're creating like a mutant because first 58 is a damn low score for anybody because of the way it translates. But who is that high of a jumper that can't run fast? He's a consummate athlete. That's what he's there for. He has a short wingspan, but he's coordinated, compact, quick. He can get up, and he's fast. That's Cody Zeller. To give him a 58 speed, yeah, I don't even want to say what it does to him. It's almost like what you do to an animal to keep it from procreating. Larry Sanders, 55 strength. I am not even. That's obvious. Brandon Knight, I'm not scouting him as 97 quickness. That's high, but the quickness ratings are usually okay. So
Gary Neal, 92 close. Larry Sanders, 88 standing layup. OJ Mayo, 50 pass. Sean Henson, 70 close.
I have to explain these ones. I'm under the assumption, and this is kind of what I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong, standing layup just basically replaced the inside rating. It governs how well you are at making layups and anything that's not a jump shot near the basket. Close is a jump shot basically in the paint. And from what I've seen looking at stats, players don't shoot jump shots well in the paint. They might shoot hooks and everything, but a paint jump shot it's usually a really low percentage shot. Matter of fact, I list Henson's rating because a 70 is way too high for him in scale, scope, or whatever. He just does not hit jump shots in the paint. When he shoots them, he misses them. We could look at stats. NBA.com, their stats are a little bit more complex, using Stat Inc., and that's a long story, I won't go there. There's also Vorked, or something like that. It's not hard to see that Henson does not make jump shots in the paint. Gary Neal is not making them to the tune of a 92 rating. As far as high percentage layups, Larry Sanders is okay, but 88 makes him a fiendish scorer, which he's not. OJ Mayo's 50 passes, he's too much of a combo guard, that's too low. Now that you kind of get a little bit of my understanding, a little less explanation, more ratings.
Al Jefferson, 94, standing layup. Al Jefferson, signature steal, finisher. Carlos Boozer, 86, close. Anthony Bennett, 82, close.
Not much there, just some inflated shooting ratings. Anthony Bennett, finisher. Nazir Muhammad, 84, close. Taj Gibson, 90, standing layup. Kirk Heinrich, 85, three-pointer. Carlos Boozer, 52. Yeah, it's starting to smell a little bit. Damn. Anthony Bennett, finisher. Okay? You see what he's shooting. Nazir Muhammad, 84, close. Gibson, 90, standing layup. This is just inflated for no reason. You can look at the stats. I'm not going to post links. I say if you really want to challenge us, please. I know I got some things wrong. Go for it. Go to NBA.com, Vorked, whatever it's called. You can see what shots they're taking, their percentages on them. And Kirk Heinrich is shooting like 31% right now. They're raising his three-pointer when he's shooting 31%. So it just tells you that those arrows going up and down mean nothing. And Carlos Boozer, translation, it's a problem with the translation. 52 speed is way too slow for them. And it's a problem with the scale. It really, to me, it's one of the things that just throws off the simulation engine if you can't get the speeds and scope.
Phil Pressey, wrong picture. Phil Pressey, 99, stamina. Gerald Wallace, 96, vert. Chris Humphreys, 58, speed. Chris Humphreys, 63, vert. Jarrett Jack, 92, close. Kyrie Irving, 99, Eurostep.
Yeah, I'm going to mention if somebody has a wrong picture. I don't have time to get into tendencies. I'm going to consider everything else except for tendencies. And the rest of it is kind of self-explanatory. Chris Humphreys is a good athlete. That's why one of the main reasons he's in the NBA. He's not a incredible basketball player skill-wise. And they have him as a stunning athlete. While Gerald Wallace, who's kind of a little long in tooth, has a 96 vert. And you just have inflated ratings for no reason. The Eurostep, that's a little difficult. I have a hard time believing Kyrie Irving is that adept at Euro steps when he's not known for it compared to somebody like James Harden or Manu Ginobili.
Brandon Bass, 55, speed. Michael Conley Jr., 85, ball security. Dwayne Wade, 98, standing layup. Helena Azubuike, 87, three-pointer. Kim English, 83, three-pointer. Sebastian Telfair, 91, standing layup. James White, 95, runner.
I'm kind of sick. Doing this in multiple parts. Excuse my voice. It's the first first time I mentioned ball security, and that is Mike Conley Jr.'s 85. That's low to me for a point guard that doesn't turn over the ball. And in scale with other players, it's lower than what Wade has. Wade turns over the ball a lot more. I probably could have put his rating on here, but I think Mike Conley Jr.'s 85 stands out more. He's a sure-handed point guard. It's a rating that, for whatever reason, is unlike other ratings. It runs down a little bit too low with a lot of guys. Too high with certain stars. But a guy that's a sure-handed ball handler like Mike Conley Jr. should have more than an 85. Then you have Kalina Azubuike he's in the free agency pool with an 87.3.
James White, 90, Eurostep. Ahmed Haddadi, 99, block. Ahmed Haddadi, 99, offensive rebound. Damn. Hassan Whiteside, 92, block. Alexis Ajinka, 62, stamina.
I don't need to explain those, I don't think. Stamina, Ajinka I think he has a 62. That's one of those ratings that really fails in translation. In theory, who knows where that would be, but if you have below an 80 in stamina, you're going to be a Gatorade junkie. You're not in good shape if you're below an 80. Even if you have a 99, you can work someone to death. I've seen somebody do that, trying to take 40 shots with Durant, and he fell out. I think he broke his ankle. Yeah, I cannot picture a player. 75 is too low for almost everybody. I cannot picture what they're doing with Ajinka, because Ajinka is playing better basketball. He's looking like a player who wants to stick.
LeBron James, 93, speed. Dwayne Wade, 96, ball handling. Greg Oden, 94, block. Greg Oden, 97, offensive rebound. Greg Oden, 89, defensive rebound. Richard Jefferson, 79, strength. Rudy Gobert, wingspan. Jason Thompson, 92, standing layup.
With LeBron, it's really how that 93 in speed compares to the many players his size that have really low scores and are less athletic than they should translate in the simulation. Wade's ball handling a 96. That should be elite point guard territory. He's that just seems a far cry too high, especially when he also has a high security rating. Greg Oden has ratings as if he never left the NBA. And where it's key, block and rebound. Richard Jefferson, a 79 in strength. That's stronger than a lot of the centers that I've already named, and you'll hear some more. Rudy Gobert, wingspan. I have to mention one person at least. Since they have the ability to give the players better measurements to represent how they're built, and it's not done. Gobert, who has a 7.9 wingspan, is just left pretty much. He's just left alone. He's standard.
Murray Stoudemire, 88, dunk. J.R. Smith, 92, runner. Kendall Marshall, 82, ball security. Victor Oladipo, 46, ball security. Carl Landry, 92, close. Rudy Gay, 52, ball security.
A lot of the same stuff there. I don't know if you're counting. That is 50.
Jimmer Fredette, 62, ball security. Brandon Jennings, 85, standing layup. Quincy AC, 60, speed. Quincy AC, 60, quickness. DeMarcus Cousins, 75, stamina. Raymond Felton, 79, overall.
You can see the Quincy AC. I don't know if he's been altered, but when I last looked, and this was within a few weeks, he was 60 speed and quickness. That does not scale right when you have guys like LeBron with a 93. It's easy enough to score with LeBron anyway, but there's too many guys that would guard LeBron in real life. And actually, you know, as the coach would write it up, the coach wants Quincy AC and LeBron. So Quincy AC has 60 speed, 60 quickness. Come on. That's just over. It's not just LeBron that's overrated because of that type of skill. It's Melo, anybody that plays small forward. I'm not even going to break it down much more with DeMarcus Cousins. It's not the 75, the number. It's how that works out. Because if you're just looking at the number, 75 stamina might be okay, but it doesn't translate. It might even sound high for Cousins. But he's Jones and Gatorade within 5 minutes of the court, on being on the court. He's on a risk to getting hurt if you play him 30 minutes. So it's a bad rating. It's a bad religion.
Bino Udra, 92, close. J.R. Smith, 92, runner. Jeremy Tyler, 80, close. Cole Aldrich, 91, defensive rebound. Carmelo Anthony, 77, spin. Jordan Hill, 92, offensive rebound.
These kind of make me feel like an 80s cartoon villain. Just mad for no reason. Bino Udrith, 90 close? What's wrong? How does Jerry Tyler have an 80 close? He averages 4 points a game. Wouldn't he score more points if he played? Jordan Hill plays for the Lakers. Nobody else rebounds on that team. And how is Carmelo Anthony only going to have a 77 spin move? Other players have 99s. You even gave Carmelo Anthony an 87 Euro step. But a 77 spin? See, this is why, really, when I say, like, the ratings are really, they're just there, but they don't matter. They don't really distinguish a player. They're just there. They're just numbers with arrows that go up and down when you connect the game to the internet.
Tobias Harris, 60, quickness. Chris Kaman, 92, close. Kendall Marshall, 65, vertical. Kevin Garnett, 92, close. Kevin Garnett, 92, medium. Nikola Vucevic, 78, potential. Nikola Vucevic, 63, strength.
Kendall Marshall's on there with that vertical, based on his real vertical being 37 inch. So the guy can jump. He's not a dunker, but you can handle that with wingspan and the dunk rating. So most of the vertical ratings are okay. They're based on the real verticals that players have posted. So this is one exception that bears mentioning. And I should also add that Kevin Garnett has had his ratings reduced. I don't know too many other players that have had them reduced. I can't even tell you what the rating is because the servers are down, but he's not 92 anymore. I think they changed that around the All-Star break. Not too many other changes, but I do believe that was changed.
DeJuan Blair, 89, standing layup. Samuel Dallenberg, 99, offensive rebound. Brandon Knight, 65, standing dunk. Deron Williams, 71, strength. Timothy Mozgov, 77, dunk. Timothy Mozgov, 60, strength. Nate Robinson, 99, durability.
Yeah, baby, welcome to NBA 2K. Samuel Dallenberg, he's the best offensive rebounder that ever played the game. Dewan Blair can finish like Dr. J. Brandon Wright, he can't dunk the ball. Deron Williams, stronger than Timothy Mozgov. And Nate Robinson is an Iron Man. NBA, dude.
Roy Hibbert, 39 defense. David West, 92 close. David West, 92 medium. Roy Hibbert, 75 stamina. Tyreek Evans, 78 three-pointer. Alex Ajinka, 34 strength. Josh Smith, 86 medium. Josh Smith, 78 three-pointer.
Well, I don't think I have a lot to add. I don't really think these need a lot of explanation. It's Josh Smith translates into being a very good shooter with an 86-78, and he's not a very good shooter. So, and that's across the board. Alex Ajinka put on some size and, to try to stay in the league and all that. He's hit the weight room. He has a 34 strength. What center in the WNBA would deserve a 34 strength? And David West never ever misses an open shot with anybody that has a shot down. But these are the numbers. That's the purpose.
Anthony Davis, 50 strength. Chauncey Billups, 81 overall. Andre Drummond, 77 overall. Brandon Jennings, 85 standing layup. Will Bynum, 85 speed. Luigi Datami, wrong picture.
Billups is injured right now, so I can't really see his individual ratings, but that 81 is obviously too high. I will say, though, I looked at his ratings before he got injured, and you could pretty much drop everything 5 points or so. So, that's Andre Billups. Drummond, I don't know what's going on with Drummond. It's athletic ratings mostly with bigs, but there's other things that could raise. And really the 77 is a product of there being a lot of other players that are overrated. With Will Bynum, he charts off for me as being a very fast player in a league where point guards are so overrated when it comes to speed. How Bynum is an 85, I don't get that. He should be not only would I probably have him closer to a 95, 96, he would be one of the few players that would be that fast. I think I'd rank Bynum like top 3 or 4 in the league in speed, and they got him as an 85.
Patrick Patterson, 60 defense. Dwight Howard, 81 close. Dwight Howard, 76 Eurostep. Patrick Beverly, 25 low post defense. Dwight Howard, 62 speed. Robert Covington, wrong picture.
And defense gets the tough love, so Patrick Patterson only has a 60 defense. But Dwight Howard, who's not as terrible as some people want to make him out to be when it comes to his touch in the paint, but this is not tough love. There's no way he deserves an 81 close. And the same with the 76 Euro step is ridiculous. Patrick Beverly, is no reason he should get anything close to the minimum score in low post defense. He's a physical guard. If he has a 25 in low post defense, then there's a lot of people that deserve zeros. Dwight Howard, 62 speed is ridiculous. He's a great athlete. Robert Covington has DJ Banga's picture, and that's, imagine if you, they have kind of similar shaped heads, but that is kind of a slap in the face to have DJ's picture for yours. So
Tim Duncan, 99 potential. Tim Duncan, 60 strength. Tim Duncan, 92 medium. Homer Asic, 58 strength. Patrick Mills, 64 ball security. Jeff Ayers, 62 low post defense. Channing Frye, 77 three-pointer. Miles Plumlee, 44 defense. Hashim Thabit, 28 speed.
that is 100 atrocious ratings. Oh, these are pretty bad right here. You can just go up and down. These you can kind of laugh at. If you're into breaking down the simulation and you find comedy here, then you better laugh, because this is funny. Tim Duncan has a 99 potential and a 60 strength. That lets you know they haven't touched him during the entire portion of this series. Why? If the potential rating doesn't make any sense if you're going to use it like that. The only purpose in a potential rating is to devalue players after they have passed their prime, so it lowers their overall. If you're going to give Tim Duncan a 99 potential, then you're doing that for no reason at all. You're overrating him with the one category where you definitely want to not overrate him. Then how is he going to have a 60 strength? Deron Williams has a 71 strength, and Tim Duncan has a 60 strength. The medium rating, they might have changed that. It looks like they changed Garnett's, and I might be able to check but verify, but I can tell you that as recently as 3 weeks ago, he had a 92 medium rating, and that is too high. Omer Asik only has a 58 strength. Patrick Beverley, 64 ball security. He's a point guard. That's lower than Durant by like 20 points. Ayers, horrible low post defense, even though he's a physical player. He has too much pride in his game to only... I mean, if he were to see this, he would be mad at the developers of this game for giving him a 62. Channing Frye is consistently good three-point shooter this season. There's guys that can't hit him a lick that have a better score than him. And then you have the Beats, 28 speed. I don't think he's the slowest player in the league. He might be. He's not that athletic, but he's not a terrible athlete. I've clocked how guys with below 50 speeds run in the gym, and they are not NBA. That is not an NBA speed. Hasheem Thabeet is a zombie out there. He's a hulking zombie, and but some people like horror flicks, so they will have their zombies. I might get Patrick Beverley and Patrick Mills mixed up. Patrick Mills, I know, has the bad ball security. Starting point guard, because who knows when... Parker might be back now. I haven't looked, but Parker's been gone for a while. Mills has started. They're still top 4 record in the league, I think. Yeah, it's like a 64 ball security. Okay.
Russell Westbrook, 91 standing layup. Serge Ibaka, 99 block. Hasheem Thabeet, 97 block. Ricky Rubio, 74 medium.
Last I looked, Russell Westbrook was shooting about 25% in the paint. They're legends in this game. So remember that when you look at Serge Ibaka's 99 block. And Hasheem Thabeet, when I recorded his rating, he hadn't blocked a shot all season. So for 3 months into the season, he has a 97 block without blocking a shot.
Rubio, 74 medium. Kevin Love, 58 speed. Wesley Matthews, 67 medium.
I broke it. The system has overloaded. Ricky Rubio have a better mid-range shot than Wesley Matthews. That is an insult to the family. These developers need to think again about what they're trying to accomplish. And why is Kevin Love slow? He's ran the same sprint as Chris Paul. Nobody listens to me. Nobody cares. All right.
Damian Lillard, 89 standing layup. Nicolas Batum, 43 pass. Damian Lillard, shoulder width. LaMarcus Aldridge, 65 strength. Damian Lillard, 94 speed. Robin Lopez, 45 speed. Robin Lopez, 55 defensive rebound.
To explain these, I'm going to try to be brief and just say it real fast. Ting. Okay. Damian Lillard is not good enough of a finisher, not even close. He's a lot of these little guys have inflated standing layups. He has an inflated standing layup and an inflated speed. He is not a speedster. He's not the type of player that's going to fly up and down the court. And he's a okay finisher. He struggled more in the beginning of the season. 89 standing layup is way too high. Batum with the 43 passes, one of the absolute baselessly lazy ratings in the game. Because he improved his pass to where he deserved more than 43 like 2 years ago, at least a year ago. Talking 365 days more. And he's, I think, third or second in small forwards when it comes to assists. He has 43 passes. With Damian Lillard's shoulder width, what I'm getting at here is he has, almost all the players are 50-50-50 in their ratings, and when you look at their models. They shrunk Damian Lillard's shoulder, even though in real life he has wide shoulders. They made his shoulders thinner to match his small head. So they give him a small head instead of fixing his head. They shrink his shoulders. So as a symbol for like all the bad body types and the fact that all over my uniform is what's bad, I'm bringing up Damian Lillard here as kind of an example. Robin Lopez is not no 45 in speed. I proved that in a video last gen, and he's not no 45 speed.
David Lee, 95, standing layup. David Lee, 52, shoot off the dribble. Robin Lopez, 55, defensive rebound. Stephen Curry, 99, hop step. Damian Lillard, 99, runner. Andre Iguodala, 87, overall. Andre Iguodala, 89, potential. John Wall, 88, standing layup. Marcin Gortat, 98, standing layup. Otto Porter, 74, overall. Robin Lopez, 69, overall. Victor Claver, 50, defense. Ear.
That is it. I have one thing to say. Please don't dare say I really went through a lot of over-analysis. I know there's a lot of parameters, and that leaves a lot of mistakes, and not every rating will get the attention it deserves. But there's no reason that this stuff should be off scale as bad as it is. And some of these ratings should translate easily, since the gameplay is there in certain areas. And because when you really look at it, there's certain ratings I didn't talk about because I don't know that much about like offensive, defensive awareness. And those are usually, you would think they're tools to where you can shift the overall for players. But you're going to have some horrible trade AI when... Can you picture Robin Lopez having a 69 overall? Otto Porter has a 74. That means if they make a trade for each other, and this wouldn't happen because the Wizards have centers. Well, actually, the Wizards would probably do this trade. Just have a better asset. So, but even if Otto Porter has more potential, which you never know based on the potential rating, you kind of see what's wrong there. So and there's a lot of these ratings, like shoot off dribble for David Lee. A lot of these are just symbolic of stuff that's wrong across the league, but it's harder to really examine those ratings because you have to use advanced stats. But they're out there. I've found some sites where you can see stuff like that. So if I really wanted to, I could probably list 500. It's not like it was a difficult time. I'd look at each team for about 20 minutes. I wasn't sick and stuff. I probably would finish this a long time ago, like 2 weeks ago instead of, it took me almost a month to do this. But it wasn't intense analysis. This was just looking up and down. Okay, this doesn't look right. Check the stats. I know this doesn't translate right. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, these ratings are either baseless, they have a poor effect on the game if they are based on something, and they just end up what I would say is markers that destroy the simulation. It's the best way I could say it. And even destroys a harsh word, because it's still, I'd say if I was going to compare this game to FIFA is more in the A- category. This game isn't even as good as the last gen version because they took out defensive settings. Removing defensive settings. What else is this? There's another. Oh yeah, and not being able to save offline with these terrible servers. So bad servers, taking out defensive settings. If you have the chance to buy this game or get the previous generation version, PS3, Xbox 360 version, get that. Or the PC version, get that. This is not as good as those. I, I look at it and I just don't see how they've really improved. Well, I could kind of see it last gen. 2K14 last gen has some improvements over 2K11, but they're out of touch with how people are playing their game. If they believe that they needed to take out defensive settings, and I listened to the rationale for someone who talked about it, and oh boy, it seemed whoever was running the development of 2K11, I wonder if it's the same person who took out defensive settings. Taking out defensive settings was the dumbest thing they've done in a long time. I forget what it's even called. The points of emphasis. I prefer that over those sliders where you have like a slider for offensive rebounding and getting back on defense. I like just having a coach's word instead of a slider. A slider is a little bit mechanical for me. So the points of emphasis, they have a place, but they're a terrible replacement over defensive settings. So if I were to give this game a letter grade, I'd struggle to give it more than a C. It just feels so incomplete as a downgrade, taking things out that at least people with the PlayStation version said there was already in the game until there was a patch. So they managed to patch out a key component of what made this game one of the better sports games, and that was just the freedom to have some AI control over the defense. And it wasn't complete because the loose defense, and it's still pretty bad, the loose pass defense made it so you never really wanted to call loose. Even if somebody couldn't shoot, even if it was against DeAndre Jordan, I would always set it to auto, because constant loose seemed to just, you'd get beat backdoor even though you're playing off them. But still, having defensive settings is a great improvement over what we currently have. So I'd say maybe this game is a C, though if you turn the points of emphasis, the defensive points of emphasis off, the AI isn't terrible, so it's still somewhat playable. And if you enjoy graphics at all, it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful damsel. Give her a kiss if you have the money to spend, or at least rent the game and see how beautiful it looks. But if you're really playing hoops and you're not sure what to get, I'd say definitely get the previous generation's version. Little reviewing. If you're going to get a next-gen sports game, get FIFA.